Yeah, we're the Hope guys, Nathan and Eli.
Hi, everybody.
We're going to talk about transition today because there's a lot of that in the air, not just in this country with a presidential transition, but I think a lot of us in our lives are recognizing that a new future's opening up and we're not going back to the way things were.
Me and Nathan have been talking with each other, and we always try and be present to what's like going on in the world. And one of the things we're talking about is how, like, sometimes I just want things to go back. Like, sometimes I just want things to be the way they were.
It's like a nostalgia. It's like, wow, things were nice then.
It's so funny, right? You remember all the great things, like, oh man, but then what am I really remembering? I don't know. I mean, what would I really want to go back to? Right? And I'm talking back like pre-COVID, like a year ago.
Yeah, pre-COVID was stressful. I gotta say, like, I have total freedom to. Yesterday was the most intense work day I've had in a long time, and today I just slept in. I didn't even turn my alarm on. It was awesome. I was like, well, I can do that.
You almost couldn't get away with that. Like,
I wouldn't let myself get away with that.
It was like that was like something's wrong with you if you're doing that, right? And Nathan says that, and me too. Like, I'm looking at the amount of commitments that I was just piling one commitment on top of the other. And look, I really like what I do, so it wasn't like I was suffering, but man, was I running. Like, there was just this constant running. And when I think about it, why would I want to go back to the running? And even on a bigger picture, why would I want to go back to something that really only worked on a small level for me and for most of the people that I know? And
when you say a small level, you mean it worked in a compartment. Like, there was some workability to the finances, there was some workability to the relationships, to the lifestyle, to the routine. But technically speaking, we're compromising. That we think this is the best it can get, and so we're not really. And I'm going to actually get out there on a limb here with some people. Things are really opening up for me. I'm actually really excited for us. Actually, we are. I mean, I'd say our dreams are coming true. Like, everything we're creating right now is happening on such an accelerated pace. And yesterday, I started to make myself wrong because I had it that I was a failure somewhere.
Wait, now just. We do some training. Now, I wanted just making himself wrong. Like, he was starting to get into that, like, beat up.
Oh yeah, totally.
You know what I mean? I just wanted to. I'm gonna let you talk, but just so everybody gets, like, he was really starting to, like, doubt himself and, like, get into that, like, he's not the one that can do this. What's he thinking? Like, that whole nonsense world.
Yeah. No, thank you. Yeah, no, so I had that whole, like, failure conversation going on, and there was nothing inherently a failure about yesterday. Yesterday was one of the most successful days I've had in a long time. I mean, we had things just, like, opening up expansively, but it was the way I chose to perceive it. And I started perceiving it through this old lens. And today when I woke up, I was like, you know what? I get to choose how I see my life, and I'm growing so much. I have to give myself grace because stepping into leadership and stepping into growth and change, like, I'm already growing at the fastest pace in my life. Like, I can't burden myself with expectations to go faster. Why don't I just give myself a little bit of grace and space to be with where I am? And you know what? It was just so beautiful. And I'd say the first area of transition we all get to have is just being a little easier on ourselves this year. I mean, how many of you were you hard on yourself? This pandemic had you in a tizzy with fear and out of control. Well, the only way to, actually, I'm going to quote Werner Erhard right now. The only way to be in control is to be with being out of control. And you know what? We don't have control in the highest sense of order, but we have control in the sense of, are we going to choose to accept life the way that it's presenting itself to us, or are we going to resist life? And so my invitation for each of us right now is to really embrace life for everything that it shows up as, whether it's growth, whether it's change, whether it's loss and fear. I mean, there's nothing wrong with any of it, right?
No, and I mean, there is if you make it wrong, if you have, but basically this is the transition that we're talking about, is the transition from, trying to get back to something that was, as opposed to embracing something that is. You know, like really just getting, you know, instead of fighting for how things used to be, really allowing yourself to just be with how things are.
Yeah. And, you know, and also I want to have this context of hope conversation with you, because like I had this beat up I'm a failure conversation yesterday when there was nothing inherently a failure about where I was yesterday. I had the most amazing day. It was just something I made up in a moment that made no sense. And this morning I shifted that. And the conversation of hope is really that simple. It's having the future be brighter than the past. And if you're looking to the lens of holding on to what was back there behind you, every day going forward is going to seem like you're losing a little bit more. But if you have it that what's out ahead of you is exciting, and you know, I've distinguished in my body, excitement and anxiety are the same exact feeling. Now, if I have it as anxiety, I'm scared, I feel out of control. If I have it as excitement, I'm like, wow, there's something I'm chasing after. There's something amazing to look forward to in my future. So invitation is to shift that conversation for yourself and have this year be a year of expecting the unexpected in the most positive sense you can imagine.
And part of being able to practically like really have that expectation is creating something that's compelling to you, that's exciting, that, you know, that literally can pull you out of bed in the morning.
Having a purpose, yeah? Living for something higher than yourself will have that be so. We're not talking about hope in a blind faith sense. We're talking about hope being out there inside of a project you're working on or inside of something you're living into. Because
hope as an action that you take, hope as something that you actually put physically into the world that produces that experience and that feeling for people and for you, but hope not just as a concept, but hope actually as an action.
And hope is not a destination. We're not trying to get anywhere. Progress is happiness. So if you can wake up each day, it doesn't matter if you're going fast or if you're going slow, if you can look at your life and say, wow, I'm just a little bit better. I'm a little bit further along. I'm moving this thing in the right direction. There's things happening. That's enough to have happiness. It doesn't have to be some extraordinary event. And you could have extraordinary events that shape your life and are absolutely outstanding.
So we have groups of people that are thinking the way we are, that want to create with us, that
they are creating with us.
All right. I'm sorry. We have groups that are currently formed of people that are taking on this type of living and this type of creating in their lives. And we invite you to come and join these groups or even possibly create one of your own. And so tonight we have our mastermind, which we have every week at 7 p.m. The link will be in the comments, whatchamacallit. And we would love to see you there tonight.
Yeah, we have teams talking about spirituality, having a 21-day fearless challenge, really causing people to work together to break out of their fear and take on their dreams. We have people coming around, conversations for faith, for business, for healing families. I mean, and if the conversation isn't represented that you want to be a part of, you could be the person that births and launches that particular project. So this is a network of partnership, and anything that causes forward motion, positive transformation, that is a contribution to people, it fits within this paradigm. So the invitation is for you to come tonight and to find community and to build your partnerships that are going to make this thing work for all of us.
This is the transition, people. It starts today.
Yeah, totally. So we'll just acknowledge the people in the chat and then we'll wrap up. Don't worry about the Twitter comment. They're like, it'll be $5 gas again. I sure hope not. Doug, it's nice to see you.
Hey, Doug.
We love you. Hope to have you. April, we love April. Thank you for being here with us. Yeah, so thanks for watching. We'll catch you guys very soon tonight, 7 p.m. every Tuesday, 7 p.m. And if Tuesdays at 7 p.m. doesn't work, just be in conversations with us. We have conversations all week. So we'll talk to you soon. Bye.